Hi guys. Some of you may know I am in the world of information technology and have been for about 12 to 13 years. I run my own business, did lots of different things. I'm currently a technical manager for an IT company, does things in the cloud. Part of my job is to look at the latest technology and find out what it's doing and all this kind of stuff. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about cryptocurrencies. So there's been a lot of publicity and stuff about Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff, and there's a lot of people wanting to get into it because it's seen as a really flash way to make money and all this kind of stuff. You've probably seen the advertising going around on the web. In short, it can be, it's about when you get in and when you get out. So at the moment, Bitcoin is around about close to 10,000 US per coin, and it was as high as 18,000. So the market has actually corrected quite a lot. The thing about it is the reason that it corrected is because there has been some laws that have been passed in some countries around the world, China, Japan, South Korea, even India, where these cryptocurrency exchanges have actually started to ban the purchasing and the trading of some of these currencies because they're trying to prevent illegal funds and black market funds from getting in there and basically laundering money and all that kind of stuff. So in a way it was a good thing because it corrected the market. The market was at about 700 and nearly 800 billion when this started to happen. And that's when Bitcoin was around about 18,000 US and it needed it. It came all the way back down to 296 billion. It had a huge correction, so it was about a third what it was in terms of market share, so market cap. So what this meant was, you had, at the time you had around about 1,300 different cryptocurrencies that were spread across that market share, with Bitcoin being about 35%. And now that has gone down to, at present, it's about $475 billion. Predictions that I have read believe that the whole market cap will go into the trillions, probably around about 2 trillion by the end of 2018. So what does this mean? This means that that the market is going to inflate, and there are going to be a lot of different cryptocurrencies that are going to be available for purchase, for trade, and for use. So how do you know which ones are the right ones to invest into? My personal opinion, which is not financial advice, is that cryptocurrencies are here and they're here to stay because the technology behind them, it actually solves real world issues. So at the moment, things like wire transfers and those sorts of things, not only do they cost money, it costs a significant amount of money in order to make these sorts of transfers, but the technology required to get money all around the world, it relies on old fiat currencies, it relies on banks, it relies on all these kinds of things that can be hacked, they can be penetrated. The Russians have done it, the North Koreans have even done it. It's not impenetrable. The existing banking system is not feasible moving forward, and neither is it for the economy. So there are lots of reasons why the existing economic structure is going to be evolving, and the old systems probably won't be replaced immediately, but over time they will. It will happen. It will happen. It's just a matter of time when. So the point is there's what's going to happen is there will be a saturation point of probably around about 2,000 cryptocurrencies that will be in play, that will have use cases and specific applications in the world. So as an example, you have, when you're talking about cryptocurrencies, you have coins, and then you have altcoins, and then you have tokens. So an out-and-out coin is a blockchain technology that has the underlying structure to perform the required communication in the blockchain in order to carry a function or a purpose. The altcoins usually use that founding function. So there are mainly three reasonable coins that we're going to talk about, and that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. So those three are probably the big ones that have the founding structures that nearly everything else is built on. So at the moment, probably the one that's more viable moving forward is actually Ethereum. Ripple is good because it has more banking applications and purposes at the moment, but Ethereum is really where it's at because it's significantly faster than Bitcoin. When you're talking about transaction speed, it's about, correct me if I'm wrong, for those people that know, really know, it's about 20 times faster. So when you're talking about certain transactions that are really, really complicated, and you're trying to involve a smart contract, so let's say a cross-platform transaction across different coins or something like that, it can take a long time for that to process. It might be 20 minutes, could be a couple of hours on the Bitcoin currency, whereas in Ethereum, it might be 5 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes or something like that for the more complicated ones. So in terms of transaction time, it's a much more viable system moving forward for everything collaborating on the internet. So the thing, what's happening is there's a heap of people that are really clever, know technology, and know how this all works, and they're creating genuine use cases for this system. So what the use case is that using blockchain technology, they can apply it to a specific market or a specific vertical or whatever it is. For instance, there's an ICO, which is an initial coin offering, so it's something that hasn't been released to the market yet, which is proving very promising. It's called Nuvus, and it is a blockchain technology which is leveraging off Ethereum, and it is going to link the entire medical marijuana industry together. So you will have, this is one use case, you will have people that have the seeds, and they go to the growers, and then it goes across and grows up to a certain length, and then they cut it, and then they harvest it, and whatever they do for their industry, every part of it is tracked and transparent all the way through to the person that buys it. So the way that it can work is you can scan it with your phone on this little package that you might get, and it'll show you exactly how it's been grown and shipped and produced and where it's been throughout its entire life. And the really amazing part about that is that as consumers, we can see exactly how it works. As producers, they have much more collaboration and transparency between the entire system. So as a use case in that industry, it's really effective. There's so many use cases. There's ones on digital advertising, for instance. Basic Attention Token is built by the founder of Java, and he is quite a brilliant man. Basically, he's created a new one called Basic Attention Token, which is on the Brave platform. And Brave is, I expect it to genuinely replace itself as the top browser in the world in the next coming years, because it cuts out all of the crap advertising and stuff like that from Google. And information that we have at this time is that Google and Facebook are essentially saturating most of the wealth from digital advertising that goes to both publisher and the end user. Well, mainly the publisher. End user don't see anything. So you're thinking about 70, 80, 90% of profit that could actually be going to people or producers. It's a lot of money. So on the Brave platform, you've got an entirely new browser which cuts out all of the fat, makes it extremely fast, and on top of it, there's this cryptocurrency or a token which allows people, content creators, to actually get wealth distributed the way that it should. So what cryptocurrency is really doing is it's cutting out a lot of middlemen. It's cutting out banks, it's cutting out people like Google, who cut the fat out of every single bit of advertising and everything like that, and all of the payment gateways. So payment gateways like PayPal and all those guys, they're going to start losing out. But what it means is that you've got better quality collaboration between people that are producing things and the people that are buying them. So in terms of choice, in terms of the way that things become effectively cheaper and better value, cryptocurrency leverages this possibility, because all of the middlemen who regulate things and who control things for money are not involved. So it's an exciting prospect. If you're going to choose a cryptocurrency to invest in, it's really important that you study up on it. I can't stress that enough. Look at how long it's been around for. Look at the use case that it's trying to. Look at this problem that it's trying to solve with technology. Look at how long it's been around, what it's doing, who's back behind the team, what sort of press it's involved with, whether they're going to cryptocurrency roadshows, they're involved with partners. You look at their advisor team. If they've got a really strong advisor panel, then it's more than likely going to succeed. So all of these things, you really get a good idea if it's good or not, because there are some dodgy cryptocurrencies out there that will just take your money. It's really important to look into it before you invest. So they're my thoughts. So yeah, I think realistically we could be looking at around about a 5 times or 500% growth in the entire market for this year, which is pretty exciting for people that are involved in cryptocurrencies. So yeah, it's going to be amazing to see how it really expands into the whole digital ecosystem, and even in payment systems and stuff. And another indication that this is really moving forward much faster than probably some of us thought of is there is, I wish I could remember the company. Brisbane Airport is going to become the very first airport in the world to be accepting cryptocurrency for airfares. So there's already 25-30 places around Brisbane that you can go and spend Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and a few other different cryptos, which is exciting. But to be able to actually use this currency for travel is really exciting. So this shows where the market is heading, and Brisbane is right at the forefront of all of this activity. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of companies start getting on board with their own cryptos. I know a few personally. I know a few people that work for some cryptocurrencies directly, and it's pretty exciting where it's all heading. So make sure if you're going to get involved that seek genuine financial advice from people that really know what they're doing. And probably the biggest and most important thing to do is if you're genuinely going to put money in, and a lot of money, they recommend if you're going to put more than 2 weeks' wage or salary into cryptocurrencies, you should actually get a hardware token, so that you can get a hardware wallet. Sorry, a hardware wallet. So there's a number around, and they're extremely beneficial, because literally if you lose your private key, which allows you to log into your wallet, like let's say you've got an ERC20 wallet for Ethereum or something like that, if you lose your private key, you lose access to the funds. You are responsible for it. So it's extremely important to basically make sure that you have access to it. Now just bear with me a moment. So there's two if you're in Australia, there's 2 crypto wallets that you probably want to be looking at. The first one is called Trezor. and it's Trezor. I'll put a link down in the comments. And the other one is called a Ledger Nano S. I have personally bought a black Trezor because it looks cool. It's also Bitcoin safe, and it's the best one around according to the reviews that I've read. So it's going to be awesome. But just in case, the reason you buy one is just in case you misplace your private key or something like that. You can essentially recover things from your hardware wallet. So you basically plug it in, and you connect to a plugin or something like that, and it just pulls your data out, and then you can export all of your information from there. So it is genuinely encrypted, incredibly hard to break into unless you have the 24 passwords or something that it needs to get in. They're extremely amazing. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing world we're stepping into. So do yourself a favor, if you've got any money that you can possibly invest in, do some research and find out if this thing's for you, because been in IT a long time, also very interested in investment, and this seems to be a really good way to get in. If you follow the trends and just study up a little bit, then you could really make this whole system work for you. Good luck, all the best, thank you.